Hey YouTube family, how you guys doing? Hope you're all doing well. Today is Saturday, November 11th, 2023, and this is a Westcreek 333 model guitar. I will get to that in a second, but I'm just getting home from the Remembrance Day ceremony down at my local Legion. I went to pay my respects to the veterans and fallen soldiers, and I just want to say, we all know that YouTube was kind of formed by a couple of guys in the garage, trying to find a way to post a video and send it to all their friends. And then years later, it got purchased by Google, and it became this huge platform where people can express themselves freely and across the world and get thousands of subscribers, and people have become rich off it, and that's all great. But I understand that this platform of sharing information freely was bought and paid for way earlier with blood, sacrifice, and courage. And for any veteran or any soldier currently serving, or any of you brave men and women serving our country that might be watching this, I just want to say, I know what you've done. I appreciate what you've done, and you have no idea how much I thank you for my being able to get out of my bed, walking downstairs, turning on my camera, and sharing information with some friends online. It's incredible, and I think a lot of us take it for granted, and I love days like today to remember what was done in order for us to be able to live the life that we live. So thank you very much. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And I wish you nothing but love, recognition, and all the best for you and your family. God bless, and thank you. So, Westcreek 333. I have done a review of the Westcreek DC, which was awesome, right out of the box. I was really impressed if you watched that video. I've done a review of the Westcreek Revenge guitar, which is kind of Westcreek's take on the Gibson Explorer, and this thing was fantastic, although it's absolutely not my style of guitar whatsoever. I've recently done a review of the Westcreek Helios, which is right up there still on my wall. Took it to a gig live after unboxing and just doing a basic setup, and that thing was fantastic. Couldn't say enough good things about it. I've had viewers ask me about the Westcreek 333, and it's really not my style of guitar. Like, you guys have heard me play, I'm just mediocre at best. I do a little bit of country stuff, some rock and roll. I'm not a jazz player. I am definitely not refined. So I kind of steer clear of guitars like this. But I've had some viewers ask, if I had a chance to try one, what I thought of them. And I've always replied, I don't know. I was able to purchase this as an open box returned Amazon guitar. I got it for quite a bit less money than they sell for. They sell for $359, and I can't really remember because I haven't gotten my credit card statement yet, but I think it was like just under $200, like $198 or something. So it's I figured, I'll just buy it, see what it's like, and I'll get an honest review out there, and I'll either sell it to someone or gift it to someone because Christmas is right around the corner, and we'll see what happens. But so I'm not gonna lie, this thing was bet up pretty good. Whoever bought this thing must have kept it for the whole 30 days before he returned it. The pickguard was literally gashed, like it had scratches in it. I don't know what they used to, or how they play, or what they used to play, but man, there was some wicked scratches in it. The pickups were covered in like dust and sweat or whatever it was. I don't know. Some of these frets were wore flat, like almost like you'd been bending like for hours, just right? just I don't know, like sanding away at those frets, like unbelievable. And the nut wasn't glued, and I don't know if that came that way from the factory, but the nut was moving. If you bent up here, like I could slide the nut, so it wasn't glued in place. And tuners were all loose, and it was just it was just rough. Like, it was really rough. So let me show you what I did to it. All right, so here's what it looks like now. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful guitar. These things are super nice. They're not my style whatsoever, but get a close up of those frets. So I basically, tuned it up just to see if it played, and as soon as I did that, the small E string snapped right down here at the bridge. So, cheap set of strings. Anyway, I took the old strings off, and that's when I realized, without a doubt, that the nut wasn't glued. So I re-glued the nut in place and tightened all these tuners. These tuners are great. Look, this is the fourth Westcreek guitar that I get. And I'm pretty sure, I'd be willing to bet that they're all the same brand of tuners. I don't know what the brand is, but they are really good. They are super smooth and they hold tune extremely well. I don't think the gear ratio is very high. I would guess 15-1, maybe 16-1, but it's not like an 18 or 19-1 gear for sure. But anyway, truss rod works great. I had to tweak it to straighten the neck so I could do the frets. I gave it a full fret leveling and crown and polish because of those flat frets that were on there. There were like 2 or 3 of them. This last one right here was ground all the way down, and then some in the middle were really flat. So I don't know what happened to this thing really. But there weren't many scratches other than the pickguard. So the pickguard, what I did, you can see it now, it kind of looks like a brushed, I don't know if I can get in there. Kind of looks like a brushed look pickguard. You can see that, how it's kind of matte finish. So what I did, it was a glossy black pickguard. So what I did is I took 600 grit sandpaper and I sanded the scratches totally out of it. And then I went to 800, 1000, 2000, and 3000 grit sandpaper. And I just basically buffed it out. And then I polished it again. I waxed it. So it's definitely looks matte, but you can kind of see the sanding lines, and when you run your hand on it, it's super smooth, but it kind of gives it a cool look. It looks kind of like a matte finish, kind of brushed look pickguard. It's pretty neat. Full-size volume pots. They feel great. Again, all the Westcreek guitars must have the same pots because they have like resistance to them. They're kind of heavy to turn. They're not like loose. You can't just flick them and have them turn. You gotta use some kind of force to turn them. I like that because when you turn them and set them, they kind of stay. The hardware on this, just like the other ones that I've reviewed, is fantastic. Nice, beefy, heavy hardware. No issues whatsoever. It intonated perfectly. Put some new strings on it. Readjusted the truss rod as for the tension. Put a set of 9s on there. And the thing is pretty much ready to go. One other thing that I did. So have a look at this. This is one thing I didn't like at first, but I kind of do like it now. Let me just get my fingerprints out of here so you'll be able to see what I did here. So they stain the bodies, but the neck kind of stays like that mahogany kind of color, and then they gloss it over. Yeah, at first I didn't really like it. I thought maybe it was a defect because the neck was a different color from the body, but then I checked online and checked the other guitars, and the only Westcreek 333 that has the same color neck as the body is the blue one. The green one is the same. It has this mahogany colored kind of neck. The red one, like mine, obviously, is mahogany as well. And I believe the other one is kind of a yellowish, kind of a honey burst color. It has this color neck. And at first I didn't really like it because the neck was super high gloss. And you can see that here. You can see how glossy it is right there. And then all of a sudden you see how it gets satiny. Well, I did that. So I taped off the binding that runs up and down the neck on both sides, and taped off obviously the guitar body right where the neck meets the body. And and in case you're wondering, there is no, like if you blindfolded me and I ran my thumb along this seam, there is no seam. You don't feel it. It's just a color change. So what I did again is I took 600 grit sandpaper. I went up and down until I could get all that shine totally off. And I went to 800, I went to 1,000, I went to 2,000, and then I just kind of oiled it, and it gives me this nice satin finish neck. So you can kind of see. Well, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but I guess not. It's too dark. I just have to take my word for it. But here, I'll try and get it so that the light shines on it. So I went right up to the end of the neck. So this is all satin, and then satin, 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 and then right here, it's just square. I just ended it right at the nut, right? Because you're never going to have your hand over there. So it's just like a nice square edge. I guess I could have made it all blend into the neck, but I just thought, you know what? I've seen a couple of guitars that have a satin neck that's just like, you know, from the nut right to the body, and I thought I'd try to reproduce that. So yeah, so we're ready to plug it in and get some sounds going. Show you what I'm running here. So there's the Westcreek, and I'm just running my Quilter amp. Settings are, you know, I have the master just over 12. I have the limiter like at 9, and then the bass is just around 11, and then the mid and treble are about at 1. I got the reverb straight up, and then the master volume is just for the volume of the room, and that's running a 12-inch. It's a neodymium Celestion speaker, and then I'm just running my small pedal board. So just some cheap pedals. Well, except for the Wamplers, they're pretty expensive, but these are all, you know, these are all really cheap. They're Rowan pedals and a spark booster, and that's it. And this is a little amp actually that I'll show you at another time. It's like a Vox. It's like a Vox MV50 amp. I have it on there as a spare, so if ever, you know, the amp I'm using breaks down, I can just line that out to the speaker and rock and roll. And I'll show you how that works. It's pretty cool. So that's all I'm using. I'll go through some drives and give you an idea of what it sounds like. I'll be right back. All right, so live. First thing you notice when I plug this thing in is quiet. Very quiet. Now I did take the pickups out just to see what kind of mounting system was in there. It's just typical 2 springs, both sides, whatever. Typical humbucker setup. And you see how the inside of the guitar is all white, right? You can see the wood on the inside. But inside the pickup cavities, it's black. So it almost looks like they have shielding paint. I did not check to see if it was shielding paint, but I find it hard to believe they would just paint the inside of a cavity black for no reason when you can't see the inside anyway, when the pickups are there, and here it's all white. So I'm guessing it's shielded, but yeah, the guitar is dead quiet in all positions. Like, doesn't matter. That's a real switch. You can, if you can look inside here, I don't really have a camera, but I can see with my eye. It's like a 3-way toggle blade switch, like you would find in a Gibson or an Epiphone, not just a box switch. And full-size pots, I think I mentioned before. So yeah, I'll just give a quick check, make sure I'm tuned. Guess so. All right, so here we go on the bridge, and this is full volume, full tone. Right, and here is the middle position. And here is the neck position. Here's some drive on the bridge position. Here's some drive in the middle position. Some drive in the neck position. Here's some high gain in the bridge position. Middle position, high gain. Neck position, high gain. Oh, right on. Super fun guitar to play. These things are incredible for the amount of money you pay for them. Anyway, Westcreek, good job on this one. I don't know how you do it, but keep doing it because guitar players like me love to be able to buy great guitars at affordable prices, and you guys really deliver. So it was awesome. And to the guy who returned this guitar, you lost out big time. A little TLC, man. It would have been a fantastic addition to your collection. Anyway, but thanks. Thanks for returning it. I truly appreciate it. You guys take care. God bless. Let me know what you think if you have one of these, and have a good one.